start warming up with your chairs. Just start in a parallel position with your feet, hip distance apart, and then just feel really grounded through the floor, the center of your heel, and then the ball of the foot, and about the pinky toe and fourth toe grounded through the ground. Take a nice inhale, and then exhale just to kind of breathe yourself into class today, and then inhale and exhale. All right, adding a plie. You're going to inhale, bend the knees, and then lengthen up. And let's do a big bend. Really fold at the hips, so a bit more like a squat than a plie to start. Yeah, and plie. Good, yes, adding those arms whenever you're comfortable. Just come forward and then standing back up. Feel the engagement through those inner thighs as you're standing back up. So even though your legs are slightly apart, think about drawing those inner thighs together. Last two, that full squat, and one, and then lengthen up and hold. So now you'll less movement in the hips and go into a plie. So it's more the knees coming forward and then lengthening up. So like you're against an imaginary wall. Instead of letting the butt go back, think of the head, shoulders, and hips sliding down an imaginary wall. So knees are tracking forward over the toes, but the hips are staying quiet. Last two, and one to hold. Little pulses down for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then stand all the way up. All right, we're going to bring the feet together in a parallel position still, and then we're going to roll through the feet. So you'll plie down, lift the heels, lengthen up onto the tippy toes, then lower the heels. Plie, lift the heels, lengthen up and lower. 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 Plie, lift the heels, hold there, little pulses for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, up on your tippy toes and lower the heels down. Then we're going to reverse it. So we're going to start on the tippy toes, plie, lower the heels, lengthen tall, up onto the toes, plie, lower the heels, lengthen up, releve, plie, lower the heels, lengthen up, releve, plie, lower the heels, lengthen up, releve, plie, lower the heels, lengthen up. Last time, releve, plie again, and pause. Focus on the up in your pulses. Little up, up. Last 4, 3, 2, 1, and then stand tall and lower the heels down. Good. Just swivel through those hips and find your external rotation, your Pilates feet. We're going to go into plies here again. Bending at the knees track over the middle of your toes, so just take a little peek if you need to. Make sure you can see your big toes, and then again you're sliding down an imaginary wall. So make sure your butt's not going back, your sits bones are opening, and then feel the sits bones close, feel the heels, back of the knees, and sits bones squeeze together. We're going to add the arm coming forward, and then back down for the last 4 and 3. If you don't need the chair, you can move both arms. 2 and 1, and then all the way tall. All right, from there, so I think maybe someone's trying to pop in, but I don't see anyone. Okay, second. All right, so we're going to plie. Same with that, roll through the feet, lift the heels, lengthen up and lower. Plie, 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 lift the heels, lengthen up and lower. One more. Plie, lift the heels, lengthen up, lower. Grab onto the chair just for a second. Go ahead, lift your heels high. And then I want you to walk the heels together. Good. So we're going to do a high heel plie, and the arm's going to go up overhead as you plie down that imaginary wall, and then bring it in front of your chest as you come up. We're going to do 8 of these, and lift. So we're squeezing the heels together, back of the legs, all the way up through the sits bones, knees tracking over the center of the foot, again sliding down that imaginary wall. Feel the crown of the head lifting towards the ceiling. Last 2, I kind of lost count. I think this might be 8. And hold, and then little pulses down for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lengthen all the way up and lower down. Good job. All right, so you walk your feet wide to a second position. So imagine you can drop your shoulders in between the heels, okay? And then arms will go out to a second position. Let's go a little bit wider with the arms. Yeah, like you're holding a big ball, and then rotate your palms in. Yep, and then a little soft bend in the elbow, like you have a big ball. Kind of squeeze in from your chest. Yes, and then we'll plie down, and then lengthen up. Plie down and lengthen up. Good. Dropping those sits bones down, and then feel as if you're pulling your heels together on the floor to engage those inner thighs on the way up. Last 3, 2, 1 to hold. Little pulses down for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to hold again, static hold, and then you're going to lift the right heel off the floor and lower, and then lift the left and lower, lift the right and lower, lift the left and lower, lift the right and lower, lift the left and lower. One more, right and left, and now try both heels for 4 and lower, and 3 and lower, lift 2 and lower, lift 1 and stand all the way up and lower those arms. Good. All right, so you'll turn and face your chair, and then you'll lie down on the mat, okay? So you're going to lie all the way down onto the floor, and then we're going to go into our bridging, okay? Good. Yep, she's adjusting so she can see us. All right, awesome. All right, from here, let's have the feet just separated a little bit apart, and then bring them towards your heels towards your sits bones, so they're right underneath where your knees are at. Perfect. Yep. And then place your hands by your side. And then we'll just start with just a little pelvic tilt. So just roll your tailbone off the mat and then release it back down. A little curl, so you can do a low back press into the mat and then sway the back. So the low back should kind of lift up as you sway that tailbone back to the mat. Little curl and release, little curl and hold, and then continue to lift the spine up one vertebrae at a time all the way to the tips of those shoulder blades. And then we soften up the chest, feel the ribs roll down one at a time. Find the waistline to open that low back, and then release, and then scoop through the belly, tuck through that tail, lift all the way up. Again, knees out over those toes, and then lower back down, one vertebrae at a time. All right, so now we've articulated, so now we're just going to bridge right up. So you just go straight up and then right back down. 8 more, straight up and right back down. We're pressing down through the heels, still thinking of the inner thighs, even though they're apart. We got 3 more here, lift and lower and squeeze up and lower, and 1 to hold that lift at the top, little squeezes from your glutes, little pulses, hips up, up. Last 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you'll lower the hips down. Okay, we're going to go into single leg bridging, so I usually like to bring the feet together on this one. Yes, and then squeezing through those inner thighs. We'll start by lifting those hips all the way up, so your ankles, knees, and inner thighs are squeezing, okay? And then from here, just going to extend from the knee one leg at a time. So extend the right leg out, and then replace, and then extend your left leg out and replace. Extend the right and replace, and left and replace. One more, right and replace, and then left and replace, and then we'll lower those hips down. Good. And then continuing on, squeeze those inner thighs, and then lift those hips up. Extend that right leg out, one line with the knee. Then you're going to lift it to the ceiling, and then lower it back down, knee to knee. Lift and lower. Point to lift, flex to lower. We're going to go 2 more here. Point to lift, flex to lower. Last one, hold that lower, bend that knee, replace it to the floor, and then lower the hips down. Good. And then squeeze those inner thighs. Lift the hips up, press through the arms. Collarbones are nice and open. Now extend the left leg out, and then we lift it to the ceiling and lower. Lift and lower. Point to lift, flex to lower. Last 2, and lower. Last one and lower, and then replace. Squeeze your hips a little higher, and then lower back down one vertebrae at a time. Good job. Okay, so from here, what I'd like you to do is come up onto the palms, okay? So, Kayla, I'm sneaking this one in for you. You're going to come up onto your palms like this, okay? And then you're going to be lifting your hips, so you just go into a little pelvic tilt. Okay, so what we're doing is just lifting our hips up because we're going to work our arms. So I want you to bend at the elbows, think tap your bum, and then lift your hips back up. Tap your bum and lift. So the higher you lift the hips, the more you have to bend at your elbows to get your bum to the floor. So the more you want to work your triceps, the higher you want those hips up off the floor. Good. And lift and lower. Yes, work those triceps. Elbows are drawing back. Good. Lower and lift. And 3 and lift. And 2, lift, last 1, and good job. Lower all the way down. Okay, so I'm going to have Kayla, you want to get the mats out of the way? Are you on carpet, Monica?
Yeah, I have carpet, but I have carpet right by me too, but I'm going to do that.
Gliders, yep. So you're going to fold the mat in half, or if you're going to be on your palms, that's fine too. You don't need the mat if you're going to be up on your palms, so. Totally up to you. So you're going to have your feet on the gliders. We're going to be using the gliders for our planks. Okay? So, yeah. So you can have the hands on the floor or your elbows folded up on a mat or cushion or whatever you need. So for those of you who are going to watch this tomorrow, you're going to tuck your toes and have them on the gliders. Your knees are right under your hips. And then you're going to scoop to the belly. And all you're going to do right here is just hover your knees off the floor. And then we're going to do a hold there. We're going to hold for 30 seconds here. Take a rest if needed. Otherwise, you're going to keep on trucking. We got 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and then lower the knees to the floor for a little break. Okay, sit back towards your heels. Okay, coming back out for another side, again on the wrists or elbows, whichever you like. If you're on those elbows, just make sure you're not hyperextended. And then we're going to lift to hover again. And then from here, we're going to go nice and slow. You're going to extend that right leg behind you, one leg at a time, and then pull in. And then the left leg slow and pull in. Right leg extends and pull in. Left leg extends and pull in. Good, nice and slow. And pull in from the belly. Feel that deep fold at the hips. And right. And left. One more right. And left. And then lower the knees and take a break. Maybe rotate your palms up if you want to stretch through your shoulders. All right, one more variation. So you'll tuck your toes underneath onto those gliders, and then again palms or wrists, whichever one you like. From here, you're going to be lifting the hips and extend the legs out into a full plank. Okay, and then you can choose to just hold, or I'm going to time you for 30 seconds going into your quick mountain climber. So you can go as fast or as slow as you like, bringing one knee in and then the other. Yeah, go quicker, slow, whichever way you like. Lost your glider. Right, left, right, left. Yep, totally up to you. Your pace. Good, we got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Bring those knees in and sit back towards your heels. All right. So done with the floor. Go ahead and come back to your chair. You'll need the gliders and plenty of room behind you, so make sure you have your mat away from you so that when you extend your leg out, you're not going to run into the mat. Okay. So we're going to start with our right foot on the glider. So you only need one now. Just shove the other one off to the side. And then you're going to square up your hips and shoulders to your chair. And then just start with the feet parallel with each other. Crown of the head lifting up towards the ceiling. And we're going to start with just a lunge back. So the foot that's on the glider, that right foot's going to go back. You can lunge into that left leg as much as you feel comfortable. So it goes as deep as you'd like. You get to make it your own. Lunge back Yes, and drag that glider or towel or foot on the floor. So create some resistance as you're pressing back and as you're pulling up to standing. Think of the inner thighs connecting at the top. We lunge back and lift, lunge back and lift, and you're going to lunge back and hold. Going into the scooter, so you bend that back knee in and extend. Bend it in and extend. Again, pressing through the floor, creating your own resistance. Get full extension of that leg behind you. Opening through the front of the hip, squeeze through the glute. Last 3, last 2. You're going to go back and hold. See if you can hold it there. Lift your right arm up to the ceiling. Lift your left arm up to the ceiling. See if you can lunge a little bit deeper. Scoop through that belly. 3, 2, 1, and then stand all the way up. Good. And then we're going to switch feet from there. So you'll place the glider under your left foot, square the hips and shoulders to your chair, and then hands can go on top or on your hips if you like, and then lunging back. Left leg goes back, and then press through the floor to stand up. Again, going as deep as you're comfortable. So if you have knee issues or if it doesn't feel good, maybe one side's different than the other, just go as low as you can and then press through the floor to lengthen up. We got 3 more here. I lied because I was counting 8. You actually have 2 more to get to 10. Sorry about that. And then you're going to plie back or lunge back and hold, and then you'll bend that back knee in and extend. We have 8 here. Bend it in and extend. Last 6. Squeeze the glutes. Pull it in and extend. And 4. Get a lower if you can. Last 2. And 1 to hold. We static hold, and then we lift those arms, right arm up to the ceiling, and then the left. See if you can dig a little deeper for 4, 3, 2, 1, and then drag it in. Good. Yeah, working those stabilizers. All right, so you switch back to that right foot, and we're going to start with just a little external rotation, and then you're going to do a small curtsy lunge. Yes, good. And to the side. So this one is small. Think more bending both knees. We do a small range of motion. Hips and shoulders are square to your chair. And you're just going out to the side. So it's a small V, and then behind you to curtsy, lunge. Last 2. And then again, 1 to hold, of course. Little pulses down for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Standing all the way up. Now you're going to go leg out to the side. So think more of a second position with that right leg. And then you're going to sweep it around to a bigger lunge and then out to the side. Sweep it around to kind of create like a circle on the floor. And hands can be on the hips or on the chair for your balance. You can always move the arms however you like, or have your arms out to the side. I like to do like a little curtsy. Arms go out to a second position as you curtsy down, and then forward as you're coming up. Last 2. And 1, and good job. All right, switching feet. So now that glider will be on the left foot. Again, small Pilates V to start. Center through those hips, and then your small little curtsy and out to the side, and little curtsy and to the side. Just the ball of the foot is on that glider, bending both knees. Think of both knees dropping down towards the floor. Using your breath. I like to inhale down, exhale to the side. Last 3. Just make sure you're breathing, not holding your breath in. 2 and 1. All right, and then you'll step out into that second position a little wider to the side, and then you'll sweep that leg around and behind you as far as you can, and then to the side. Sweep around. Think creating like a half circle on the floor and going to your deepest range of motion. Maybe try the last 4 going a little bit bigger. And 2. Beautiful. 1. and good job. Let's go ahead and take a quick little break. So cross your right ankle over your left knee and sit into like a little chair. Yeah. Stretch out through those stabilizers. And then we'll switch sides. Good. And let's open the feet a little bit, go into a little forward fold so you can stretch out through the low back. Maybe bend one knee and then the other if that feels good for you. All right, and then slowly rolling all the way up. Okay, we have one more glider set, so we'll turn and face. Okay, we're going to turn and face me. So you'd be side facing your chair. Let's have the outside foot on the glider. Let's make sure you have room to the side of you. All right. And then again, you can do your little skater arms or have one hand on the chair, but you're going to deeply bend into that, whatever knee's closest to the chair, and the other leg will go out to the side and then standing all the way up. So you've done this on the reformer. It's like that skater work. Think of pressing out and then pulling in on that floor. So create that resistance. Make it harder on yourself. Yes, press through the floor. I think these gliders are a little sticky too. Out and lift. 2. And again, we're going to go 1 to hold it out, and then you'll just stay low, bend that knee in, and extend. Here's where I like to really pump those arms. Get a little cardio in if you pump those arms. Out and in. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we got our last little challenge. You're going to lunge out to the side and hold. You're going to lift the toe off. Yep, lower, bend it in, and extend. Yes, it's hard. And lift, lower, bend it in, and extend. Lift, lower, bend it in, and extend. Last one, lift, lower, bend it in, and stand all the way tall. Bravo. All right, so you might want to move your chair to the other side so that you can still face the camera. Thank you. All right, so opposite foot will be on those gliders. Again, just check in, feel really stable through that standing leg, and then find energy up through the crown of the head. And then again, we'll press out, going as low as you can, and then press through the floor on the way up. Side lunge. Press through the floor. So create that resistance on the way up through those inner thighs. Good. Press out and pull up. Yes. So think of the ankles, the knees, all the way through those sits bones coming together, as well as the belly zipping up. So you're zipping into your tight jeans on the way in. And your zipper starts at your knees. Last 2. And then we go out and hold, and then we skater that leg, bend it in and extend, bend it in and extend. Last 4 here. 3, stabilizers are killing you. 2, and then we got that last set. We go out, lift the toe, lower, bend it in and out, lift the toe. Good job keeping your hips stable. Out, lift the toe. Bend it in. Good. One more. Out. Lift the toe. Bend it in. And good job. All right. Shake it out. Not drinking enough water today. All right. So we're going to get the chair out of the way. And then lower your mat back down onto the floor. So we'll end with a little bit of mat work here. Okay, you start by lying on your stomach, all the way down on the floor. All right, we're gonna start with our hands, one on top of the other. Rest your forehead on your hands. You can separate the feet if needed, and then take a moment here to tuck the tailbone to the floor, lift the belly button so you feel that length in that low back, and then from your breath, you're going to be lifting your head, hands as one piece off the floor, and then lower back down. And lift, and lower back down. You get to choose the breath. If it feels good to inhale up, that's fine. Or if it feels good to exhale, use the connection of the core to lift. Totally up to you. All right, 2 more here. Lift and lower, and then 1 more. Lift and lower, relaxing the upper body. Now, separate the legs. You're going to lift your right thigh off the floor as high as you can without lifting the hip, and then lower, and then lift the left thigh and lower. Nice slow swimming. We'll lift the right. So work through the hamstring, work through the glute and the belly. Good. And then right and left and right and left. One more, right and left. Good job. All right, from here, we're going to rotate from our hips. Find your external rotation. So heels together, toes apart. Okay, and we're lifting that upper body up off of the mat. Still in that, not in the swan yet. Sorry, so we're still here with the head on top of the hands. Yep. Lift your upper body. There we go. And now you're just going to tap your heels together for 8, 7, squeeze 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then lower back down. Good job. All right, so now you bring your hands back by your shoulders. We'll go into our full swan. So bring your elbows by your side, nice and tight. Yep. And then forehead rests on the mat to start. We start by rolling the head up first. I like to just look at the end of the mat and then press through the palms to lift the chest. So it's not a cervical extension. Yes, it's thoracic, and then lower all the way back down. And then head rolls up. Press through the heel of the hands, lift the chest, draw the shoulders down, elbows are drawing in, yes, and down by your side, good, and then lower all the way back down. Keep the back of the neck nice and long. Good, head rolls up, elbows draw down towards the waist, press through the palms, and then all the way back down. One more time, press through the heel of the hands, scoop through the belly, and then lift all the way up. Good. From there, you're going to find your rest position. So I like to just lift the hips from there, press back into a child's pose. All right, then you're going to have a seat facing me. And then you get to choose whichever side, however you want your legs. You're going to find a mermaid position. Okay, you're going to start with one hand on the floor. And then the other arm's going to lift up overhead, so you're going towards, the floor as you bend at the elbow, reach all the way to the floor. Good. And you're going to come up, and then you're going to side bend over that other shin. Good. And then lift up, and then side bend over. Try to get the elbow to the floor, reach through your fingertips, and then lift up, and side bend over to the other side, and lift up, and side bend over. Good. All right, so from there we're going to add on, okay? So you're going to go up and over. You're going to rotate around. Good thing, thread the needle, place both hands. No, sorry, good. Open wide through the collarbones. You're going to lift through the chest, a little extension. Good, and then press through the heel of the hands. Think around your shoulder blades up to the ceiling, pushing the floor away from you. And then extend the spine, so bring that chest up. Good, and then ribs in, belly in, press through the floor, shoulders up to the ceiling, and then one more, lift through the chest, and then round through the spine. Good. You're going to bring that hand that's furthest away from me, forward, and then open out to that side bend and come all the way up. And then you'll switch sides, so just swing those legs around. One hand to the floor, and then we'll lift that opposite arm up, and then you'll bend at the elbows, trying to get all the way to the floor, going over that bent knee. Good. And then to the other side, and then up, hand to the floor, elbow. Enjoy the stretch. Really reach. Feel that length through the ribs, through the hips, and then to the other side. Good. And lift. And up and over. See if you can reach the floor for that stretch through the hip, and then one more time, up and over that bent leg, a little more awkward side, and then lift up, and then place the hand to the floor, rotate around, adjust, so those hands are shoulder width apart. Good. Round through the spine, push through the floor. Good. And then really sway the back with the chest extension, and then push through the floor, scoop through the belly. Think of the shoulder blades reaching up to the ceiling, wide through the shoulders, and then press through the palms, lift the chest up, pull those palms towards you, engage through the core, and then again push the palms away, round through the spine. And then let's go one more extension, pull the palms towards you, lift the chest, and then push them away, Hold there, open out to that side bend, unwinding that spine, and come all the way up. Good. Let's swivel your feet so that we can go into our little Pilates ball. So have the feet underneath you. So swivel your legs the other direction.
Me?
Yep.
This way?
Yep. You're going to find your Pilates ball. So tuck through your toes, you're up on your tippy toes. Yep, so rock back towards your heels, and then from there, yes, pull your belly button up away. Let's take a couple pulses here of your hips towards your heels. Good, and then we're gonna lengthen up to the ceiling, those hips, send your heels to the floor. Let's take a nice inhale, and exhale. Let's widen the feet. Let's step the feet a little wider, grab onto your elbows, take a couple rocks side to side. Good, and then shake your head no, and nod your chin towards your chest. And then keep the chin to the chest, let your arms drape, and then we'll slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Head and shoulders up last, good, and then take a big arm circle up and around. And thank you so much.